Hello, I just wanted to go over using image trace again, just in case you need to see it one more time. And I took an image, saving it from the research file, and I'm going to change it before I bring it into Illustrator to trace it. So I may not want to have certain things copied over. So the stitching and maybe a style line or some of the panels in this sneaker I don't want. So this image here I'm going to erase and clear away. So the best way I want to do is I'm going to do the quick selection, and I'm going to select an area on the heel, and I'm just going to clear it away and remove the stitching. Same thing for this part. Of this panel here. I'm going to clear that away, but I don't want to clear away the whole part of it. So what I'm going to do, since it's a gray and it's capturing too much, I'm going to go to Image Adjustment, and there is a setting called Black and White. And let's see if it takes that out. It is a bluish gray, so it may find it or it may not. So since it's gray, it is changing a little bit, but not enough. So I'm going to go to my all-time favorite. Under image 2, it's called Threshold. Threshold makes it completely black and white. And I'm going to change it because the gray, there we go. So I'm sliding it towards the left, and I'm adjust it so I'm not getting any residue from the gray or speckles of color. So there you have Threshold. Now I'm going to select the stitching and remove it. I'm going to be careful because I just noticed I took away a little bit too much. So I'm going to deselect. I'm going to start over. And because the stitching is touching the black line, I'm a little bit clean it away and delete, and I will come back and do my own erasing on that. So I'm going to take some of these stitchings out because I want to do not black stitching but a contrast stitching after I trace it. And I don't want some of these panels at all, so I'm going to remove the stitching. I'm going to come back afterwards and touch it up because I want to do color stitching to match the material and not black stitching. So as you can see, I'm going through this, deleting stitching. After I do that, I'm going to go to the eraser, change it to the pencil eraser, and I'm going to erase parts that I don't want. So I'm changing some of the style lines. of the shoe. And I'll go in here and touch it up. Now this line I don't want, so I'm going to take it away. And a great way to take away a line that's long and is curved is if you click once, hold the shift key, move away, keep the shift key down, and you get a nice clean eraser. So if I need to touch up lines that are happen to get dissolved or broken, I would take the pencil, find the right size tip to match the line, make sure it's black, click once, hold the shift, move away, click, click. Now, flip the black to the front, hold shift. If you make a mistake, take the white, flip it over, clean it up. So don't hold shift now because then it will jump across something else. So don't let go of shift when you get ready, click, then hold shift. Because if you jump to another place over here, you get that. So let go shift, and I find it is the best way of getting a nice circle in Photoshop by hand. Let go, I'm gonna come back, darken my lines. That way, Illustrator won't have a problem with coloring, and even still, you can fix the line work in Illustrator. And see, I lost this, so hold shift, click, little steps. And like right here, I'll make the paintbrush bigger, change it to white, a little bit bigger. And actually, this is even better. Painting over in white, except might have a little glitch there. Let's see, I would choose that smaller. Flip the black to the front, hold shift, click, holding shift, clicking, tracing over a line. The quick selection and hitting delete did erase the stitching faster, but you have to do more cleanup probably. But if you take your time, probably the best way is what I'm doing. It's just using pencil, painting over in white on the artwork. Because the time you take to clean up all your line work is probably equal to just using white paint and just painting over the stitching. So this is the option for you to do whatever way you like. So I'm going to stop there. So now I have a shoe with my own style line taken out, and then I can put my own style lines in and design my own panels to my shoe. But it's always an interesting payoff which one works best for you. Even tracing in Illustrator, you can get the same results. Takes a little time as well, but it's done. And then I could take this into Illustrator. So I will save this and bring into Illustrator. So I'm going to go to Illustrator. I have a shoe already, the original with the colors. I have one that's image trace, and I did have the stitching left, but like I said, I want to change it to look the way I want it to be. So now I'm going to place this one into Illustrator. Now that I'm going to bring the shoe that I saved, place it into Illustrator. Drag it out to fill in the page. Now I have the image, and I'm going to go to Window, Image Trace, and I'm going to select the image, and I'm going to look and see what the settings I want to do for this image. When I trace, I like to specify not default setting, it's too basic. I like to use sketch art. And I'm going to turn off preview. So I'm not going to have preview on. Add that off first. Then go up to your default preset, down to sketch art, and say OK. And it's already tracing, and unfortunately turned on preview. So it's automatic. But what I'm going to do is go to noise. Less noise gives you better detail. And you can do more detail, higher path, but that means more anchor points if you need to change it. And threshold in the middle is good, but just like you saw in Photoshop, it makes it darker or lighter. So if you have lines that are not showing up, you may push it over a little bit more to get the image to show up. And if the lines look too thick, maybe less. And let's see what happens. So you're looking around, seeing how the lines, and see this line here. We have a little issue, so they're very thin. So I'm going to do medium threshold, and now it fixed those lines. And you can use Illustrator Eraser to clean up these little bumps if you need to. So now you have a clean image, and after you do that, click on up here in the menu under tracing results. You can hit expand, and that will release it to your vector file, and you'll have your anchor points, as you can see, show up. And like I said, if you do a lot of detail, that means you get stray anchor points like I have here floating around, but the lines will definitely have a lot of anchor points. So you may want to change the noise a little bit, or maybe you want to change the path. Instead of being in the middle, maybe a little lower. But that also affects your illustration. So now you have your sketch done. You can come in and do your own stitching. And have your own stitching in your illustration. I'm going to go to the stroke window. Here it is. Dash it to your liking. Maybe for this one, maybe 3. And then you can decide. For this, I love doing a round cap. Looks more like stitching on a shoe. That way, when you color it, you have control over your stitching. Didn't erase this one, but that could be easily changed. So you can easily go into this. If you forgot something and something shows up, go to the regular eraser in Illustrator, and then you can erase. I don't want to destroy the gathering, so make the eraser a little bit smaller so I don't destroy my gather lines or my seam lines, as I just did. So going up here, you can see it cut into that. So undo that. And pressing the bracket, smooth this line out. And I'm just going to replace that with my own stitching. So if there's something left over, don't worry. That was too close, so even smaller. So you're set. to do your modifications to your shoe. So that is a wonderful thing called image trace, helping you quickly draw a illustration either you done by hand or that you may have found on a image database service.